good. Okay. True. Well, it's a pleasure to call this meeting to order. It's a pleasure for me to sit here in City Hall again and actually wield the gavel. The first order of business here then is to approve the minutes of our last meeting, both the executive session and the session, our regular session, the regular minutes. Do we hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
There's a, say that again, Deb.
Second.
Okay. A quick second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 I'm going to abstain from the executive session minutes though, since I wasn't available for that.
Okay,
And I have to abstain.
okay. And,
Dennis as well.
okay. And is there anyone opposing? All right, the minutes pass.
Great, thank you. Let's move on to staff report, Jack.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll try to keep this fairly brief. Staff report, 32 single-family homes. Permits have been issued so far since January. We're having some lot issues, running out of lots. The weather has been such that subdivisions under construction aren't going to be coming online for a while because of the weather as well. They can't get streets in if the ground that they're supposed to be putting them on is all mud. So they're having problems with that. We have the Domino's permit has been issued and they are under construction at the strip mall at the marketplace. We have also received an application and the plans are under review for the internal finish for a dental office at the same location on the north end of that building. And a deli has made their initial contacts with Brandy to figure out what they've got to do to get a permit. They're looking at the site right next to Domino's. So there'll be a Domino's and hopefully a deli going in there soon. As you can see, Burger King's under construction. And it started off like a bang, kind of hit a slow spot. Now it's going gangbusters again. The attic storage, first two storage buildings at the south end of town, they pulled the permit and we anticipate inspections will start happening on the footings of those shortly. And the KCI RV is under construction for its third building. At our last meeting, we discussed that, but they are still moving along on that construction. The Herzog Foundation headquarters building is still under construction. It's starting to look like a building. If you've driven by it, you've seen it. And we anticipate the inspections will start up on that one, on the plumbing, electrical, mechanical, any structural issues as they go through the building before they cover it up. So that one's moving on. It's got a ways to go, obviously, because it's a big detailed building. So we're making progress on all fronts. First Park, which is the industrial subdivision, has multiple contractors now working up there. They have a stormwater contractor installing storm lines, the water line install, the sewer line install, and the street and grading contractors were all there today, coordinating with the Public Works Department. And one of the tenants that's going to be in that subdivision is the CPC of Missouri medical marijuana facility that you all recently approved. And they are starting construction as well. They will be, by July 30th, they have anticipate being moving full throttle. So hardest difficult thing at that site will be, they will be trying to construct without the streets and all that other stuff, but they're making progress on that one as well. Lastly, at the next meeting, I anticipate bringing forth and advertising for a code change to eliminate our conflicts or confusion over our site plan ordinance as it relates to some of the issues that were bumped forward a month at the last meeting with the cabins up north, putting in some clarification so that we can clarify what the intent is so that there's no confusion in the future. And we'll get things right there. We've got an older ordinance, it's 13, 14 years old, and things have changed. And this will ultimately allow us to eliminate any confusion from going forward. Obviously, the confusion that brought us to 2 meetings for their cabin plans is not the best thing for us. So hopefully we can get this thing resolved and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Let's go now to the Kozak's Lake Town Grill site plan. It's my understanding that this is a modification of their original plan. Would you
It's
detail?
very hard to hear you, Rand.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, let me pull this microphone closer here.
Yeah, you have to talk directly into the mic.
Okay. So what I said, let's go now to the Kozak's Lake Town Grill site plan. It's my understanding that this is a modification of their original plan. And Jack, would you detail that for us a little further?
As you see in the staff report on the matter, their original design and layout was approved back in October of 2019. There have been some tweaks and they had presented those to city staff initially in March of 2020. And we're hoping to get moving shortly after that, and something else came up. So we all know what that was. So they had to put it on hold for a bit while they kept very busy during the pandemic. Now they've gotten out of it. They've got a new plan with a different architect. So it's roughly the same, but it's significantly different as well. If you remember the old plan and versus the new plan, the concepts are kind of the same, but in any event, you have before you the plans that have been submitted that have the layout of it. The biggest thing for us was to make sure on our end that they have adequate buffering and the like. There isn't any direct residential, so they've got a little lesser standard to meet if there's residential immediately around any commercial project. They have higher lighting standards and landscaping standards. As they've submitted, everything meets the standards in the code. The only issues that are outstanding and they are working on with the developer of the site that they're on is a sanitary and stormwater. We have not been presented specific plans on how they're going to upgrade those systems to make them work, but they are aware of it and they have engineers and architects and everybody on board and working on it. So from the standpoint of the plan that you have before you, staff is making a recommendation of approval with the 2 conditions that are at the bottom of the staff report. That sanitary sewer plans to address the capacity deficit of the sewers are approved and then constructed, and the stormwater detention plans, either just for the restaurant or for the entire development, are approved and constructed. Put that as a condition so that they would have the option to go on their own or to contribute to a bigger situation for the entire 7-lot development with the developer. Either way will work from our perspective. Our engineering has to approve the plans either way. So those are the 2 conditions of approval that staff would recommend the board put on this.
Could we
Okay.
hear a motion then to approve this new plan contingent upon these conditions?
Motion to approve based on the 2 conditions listed.
Second.
Did you get who seconded that, Randy? Oh, Connor, okay, I didn't.
Connor was the
Okay.
second.
Good. Any questions or discussion on this?
If I may, I would highlight that Brian and Jackie Hover are on the Zoom meeting if anybody has questions of the applicant. And Brandy Atwell in the upper left-hand corner, for those in the room here, is one of the architects on this.
Well, I've met Mrs. Cover, but Mr. Cover, he's always back in the kitchen, I think, so. Any questions for the Covers or Brandy? Okay, let's have a vote then. Brandy?
Okay, Connor,
Aye.
Alderman Chevalier,
Aye.
Rand,
Aye.
Deb,
Aye.
Mayor Boley,
Aye.
Dennis.
Aye.
All right, that's 6-0.
This will be on a recommendation moving forward to the Board of Aldermen 1 week from today here at the
19th, Jack.
Chambers.
Monday.
Excuse me, Monday, the 19th, not 1 week from today, but 6 days from today. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As soon as I opened my mouth, I realized I put my foot in it. So it will be on the board agenda as a resolution at that meeting. Assuming that's approved, building permits can be applied for immediately thereafter, assuming we've got all the plans in place. So thank you.
Thank you
Let's
very
move now
much.
Thank you for joining us. Let's move now to the Herzog Foundation site plan. And I want to say that I applaud those on the commission that desired to delay this until an amiable plan could be worked out or a condition could be worked out with the city. And let's move forward with this then. Jack, can you explain this a little further?
Sure. I believe everyone's aware of what occurred at the last meeting. There was there was not an agreement between the applicant and the city as to what adjacent infrastructure improvements would need to be made. City recommended approval conditioned on those full infrastructure improvements. This commission recommended that the matter be postponed until this meeting to give time for the applicant and the city to hopefully reach some kind of an agreement on the matter. Last week, we finally reached an agreement. City has reduced its request to a 5-foot wide sidewalk to be installed to city standards located on the city right-of-way of North Main Street within 1 foot of the property line. And then the applicant had suggested in the first meeting as well to do a chip and seal over the entire width of North Main from 188th where they were doing their work all the way down to the bottom of their property line. I've put a condition on there on the approval as well for a distance not to exceed 314.40 feet. The primary reason for that is that's the maximum distance of their lot line on that side. So it's going to be 314.4 feet minus whatever is part of the curve radius for the Main Street or the 188th Street work that they're doing already as a part of the other approval. I got an email last week agreeing to those terms. So you have a staff report basically adding that into it from last month's staff report, adding these conditions that recommending approval based upon the 2 conditions that I just read, the sidewalk and the chip and seal. That's all.
Thank you, Jack. I'm looking for a motion to approve this new plan.
So moved.
Second.
Okay,
Okay, any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, let's vote then. Brandy?
okay. Deb,
Aye.
Mayor Boley,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Alderman Chevalier,
Aye.
and Rand.
Aye.
6-0.
This item as well will be on the July 19th meeting. I will make notice or provide notification to the applicant. I believe they were on earlier but dropped. The folks from Gastinger Walker, I will let them know that it was approved as in the staff report with the conditions, and we'll go from there.
Excellent. That's it for our agenda this evening. Can I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
That was Connor
Yeah.
for the second. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? And we are adjourned.
None.
Before we close the Zoom meeting, I see Anthony has pulled up onto the screen. I just wanted to let him know. Anthony, this is Jack Hendricks, by the way. This meeting moved much quicker than we anticipated. The staff report with the recommendation with the conditions that we had discussed, the sidewalk and the chip and seal that is identified in the staff report. It was approved unanimously by this commission, recommended to go to the board on the 19th. If you have any comments, if you could make them now.
No, that's good to hear, Jack. I apologize. I thought I'd catch you all in time, but I'm happy to hear that it went through. And I just wanted to make sure I thanked Jack, you and your city staff for the negotiations and being open in the back and forth to come to an amicable solution that everyone's happy with. And we're really looking forward to the development. So thanks again.
Sure, thank you. And I would highlight, if you watch the meeting minutes, you will hear congratulations and thank yous from a couple of the commissioners, thanking everybody, staff and you all for actually coming together and doing this. So that's a mutual scenario. Thanks.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. Thanks, everybody.
Also, Mr. Mayor and anyone else that's responsible, I just want to mention that this room is beautiful down here. So very
Hey, good.
good job. We can actually hear in here. There's no air conditioner drowning everything out. It's fabulous.
Hey, Jack, make sure you show him the rest. Lobby too.
I will. We'll
Good,
walk them through
okay.
here as soon as we're done.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.